right, welcome to Binge Buddies. Fork the Porking Forker. With me, your host, always Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Rachel Carson, Dykes.
No idea who that is.
Marine biologist, conservation. Helped create the modern environmentalist movement. Her book, Silent Spring, led to the ban of DDT throughout the world and helped spur the creation of the... it stops there.
Oh,
DDP is in Diamond Dallas Page. Oh, that's DDP. Sorry.
Yeah.
DDT,
I know what DDT is.
We worked on the microplastic situation now. Is she still around to help handle that?
I think she's super dead.
No.
oh, they're microplastics.
Apparently they're in the air now. Isn't that fun? We also have Joel William Herchel Dewitte.
Should I know him?
He's an astronomer, scientist, and an oboist.
You know, I knew this already, but this is just remind me that I'm terrible with names. Like Matt and Ryan, you're lucky that I remember your name every week. Like that's how bad I am at that.
And he also could be lying because we're in Zoom and he has your names available.
That does help.
As a
I think that's the only reason. We basically have virtual name tags on.
I don't mean to blow up your spot there, Joel.
No, that's okay. If I ever meet Matt, it's not going to be Matt. It's going to be Zombie Dog.
I'm okay with that. I will answer to that.
I appreciate how you've embraced that, actually.
I do too.
That's pretty good.
It's the best nickname I've ever had.
Small tinge of pride with that. Just a little bit. Because you're the one who owned it. I had very, very little to do with it. But we do have Ryan. I guess that's fair. Ryan Leo Tolstoy Lootens.
I got nothing.
You don't know Tolstoy?
I'm a Russian. I
Okay,
know Tolstoy.
I was like, that one.
I'm a Russian author. Was it War and Peace or Crime and Punishment?
Crime and Punishment, I think.
So you work at a school, man. You should know who Tolstoy is.
Yes, I'm at a school that teaches Russian literature.
I'm saying school.
His school is named after a tractor maker. Come on now.
Not mine. I live by one though.
Oh boy.
War
So
and Peace.
we have derailed.
we have derailed again. Shocker. I know everyone listening is like, wait, these guys got off topic? That doesn't sound like them. Good place.
It was War and Peace, by the way. I want to get that right.
Finale. Slowly but surely get that out there, which is called Somewhere Else. And then after we get done with that, we're going to move on to the season 3 premiere, which is a 2-parter, but one episode, and that is called Something Else. I don't have that open in front of me, but I'll have it open on the screen.
Isn't it something Bonzer or something?
Something Bonzer or something? I don't think it's that.
No, I think Bonzer's like. Hold on, I got you. This one, so it's Somewhere Else. Everything is Bonzer.
Everything is Bonzer. Okay, well done. Great. This for me is I know I've said this I think kind of a few times on this podcast, but I'm going to keep saying it. It continues to impress the fork out of me. This is another one of those things where it's like, where can this show go from here? We're literally pleading our case with an immortal judge, and we're only at the end of season 2. We still have 2 more seasons. Where does this forking go? And this show has a hell of an answer. We're gonna bring him back to life. Like
that blindsided me,
right?
Like, I was not expecting that whatsoever, and that was the big the possibilities are endless now. This could go anywhere again.
I'm just gonna my quote is the very last thing that's said in this episode, and that is just a testament to the writing.
Yeah.
Most cliffhangers you have like a big action, like the word. I mean, the first cliffhanger that was known in the realm of TV was who shot JR, because someone shot someone. I mean, you've got a lot of different.
Who shot
things.
Mr. Burns?
Yeah,
who shot Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Who shot Mr. Burns?
Yes.
So it's a lot of things when you come to a cliffhanger of a TV show, it's usually the actions, and there is a big action in this, but for what is said at the very end and who says it makes it that much better. Makes the right. I mean, because it's just a testament to what the show is doing, how they're trying different things, and how they're pulling out the stops, which is really, really phenomenal. So yeah, I'll get more into that when we. I mean, I'll just say the line because I probably just did my little intro. But yeah, this show is just they're thinking of new ways just to pull the stops from us. It's great.
It is like one of those things where when I was first watching this, I was like, huh, did not see that coming.
Yep.
But when you think about it, it's super obvious because the whole point of them like is this knowledge that if they are good, they're going to go to the good place. So it kind of negates every good act they do. So it's the most logical thing to do would be, okay, let's see if they can change on their own without knowledge of the cookie at the,
What do they call it? Moral dessert?
yeah, moral dessert. Yeah, like, and it's just it's so good. Like the just the decision that was made there, and it's like this is perfect. And it's one of those things where it's like if they had found out, yeah, season 2 is gonna be your last one, they're leading up to something that you could argue that they could have ended it there and done something and given us an ending, but like taking us into the season 3 in this direction and it doing a really good job of setting up what it's going to be like as well. Like they did that in season 1, where they sort of like they almost like start the next season a little bit, and it sort of carries on. And they did that quite early on in this episode as well. I think maybe like 5 minutes into the episode or something, we're back on Earth.
And that's kind of why like this one's gonna be kind of tough to talk about, like as we usually do, like one episode move into the next, because these episodes overlap a lot, and intentionally.
There's even repetition. So like
Yeah.
the opening of season 3's opening episode does retread a lot of the stuff that we've already seen in the season 2. But bear in mind, like it's like 6-7 months will have been between the 2 seasons, so it's kind of understandable in that old style of you've watched the show and then
previously on.
Yeah,
essentially.
But it's also like it's repeating, but it's also like because we only get Eleanor's story in this one.
Right.
Like we only see Eleanor come back to life in this one. We get the other 3 in the next one. But because of that, we do have these moments where we get to see behind the scenes a little bit of what was going on in the season 2 finale when Eleanor's on Earth, and we get to see what Michael was doing to try to pull those strings to get Eleanor to go where she's going.
I like that in the season 3 opening episode, though. Like those behind the scenes stuff of like what Michael and Janet are doing is just so good. Like the little ticket. I mean, like we're talking about the wrong episode. But those little ticket
no, it's easier just to talk.
So good.
I honestly feel like we should just blend them and talk about them together because I think that'll be the easier way to go about it. Because I agree with Ryan. I think the ending of the season 2 finale is phenomenal. But I also think that like they blend together so well that talking about them separately almost kind of does a disservice to them both because they kind of need each other to tell the story as well as they do.
Yeah.
Did anybody feel the whiplash in terms of pacing?
A little bit.
Like before this, it felt like breakneck speed, right?
Yeah.
And this sort of puts things to a halt. It grounds things a lot more than it has been in a while. And I don't mean this as a negative, but it felt slow.
I think it comes from, so far we've all been aware of, and the humans that we've been following have been aware of a supposed ticking clock. There is someone coming to get them. And now that they're back on Earth, that clock is gone. Michael still is aware of it. He knows they're doing something, but the humans are now just living their lives. They just had a near-death experience. So like it feels slow. I don't think it is as slow. I just think it feels that way because we're feeling the same thing the humans do, where we no longer have that pressure of what is going on. What are we going to do? What's next?
Right.
I think it had to slow down at some point though, because it couldn't have continued on at the speed it was going. It would have just got to the point where it would have been that I need a break here. This is
it turns into like the superhero thing where it's like you need to slow thing. It can't just keep being escalation of otherworldly threats over the times. You got to cool it off a little bit and then rebuild from the ground up.
The universe can't be in threat every single week because
because if everything's a threat, then it's just day to day.
Then nothing's a threat. It's that sort of thing. Like if the universe is always at threat, then there's no drama there because it's just the norm.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like what started ruining Doctor Who there before they had to kind of take their little break.
What I like too is it's the comedy is not like, you're right, it definitely slows down a little bit, but the comedy is not. It's definitely more philosophical. And what I really enjoyed, and I was starting to think this as I was watching the first episode, is this show, while extremely funny, is extremely philosophical. Like you're getting you're getting these philosophy lessons, but you're really starting to feel them in this first episode, because now it's that second chance. And then you're
Yeah.
starting to think, like, what if I had a second chance? Like, the show does a really good job of switching gears. And yes, it does feel like a slowdown, but it's when you look at like the bigger picture, I think overall what the writers are doing is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. It just feels like you have a lot of philosophy nerds who also like writing good TV. Like, how can we get this stuff in here?
What I really appreciate about the show, but especially here too, is that they understand that growth is not a straight line.
Yeah.
Like, there are peaks and valleys. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make bad choices and feel like you're giving up, but you just gotta sort of pick up the pieces and try again if you want to be intentional about it, right? Which I feel like there's a lot of stuff anymore where it's like people just expect that straight line of development and being better and better and better, whether it's personal interactions like this or something more fantastical, some kind of hero, right? And it goes back to what Matt was saying about states. It's like if all there is growth, then it becomes boring.
Yeah. And I think the Eleanor story in this one, I mean, they all kind of have their own way of showcasing this. A little bit less with Tahani. Tahani doesn't quite bottom out as bad as the other three do. But they all have a moment where they're like, oh, they're getting better, they're getting better, they're getting better. Things don't go the way they want them to. And then like that not straight line Joel's talking about really starts to shine. I love watching, I think it's depicted the best with Eleanor. Like that whole
Yes.
Because she really goes for it. Like she goes and finds the guy that she used to pick on, asks him for help. She starts working with him legitimately. Can you teach? How did she phrase it? Can you teach me how to get all horny for the environment or something? She's still Eleanor.
Quits her job and the boss is wired because of there's some sort of fraud case going on.
Just even this collar,
That's
that's
wired
not
to
sexual
the FBI.
harassment.
My favorite is when she comes back and he goes, I'm actually in the witness protection program, so nothing's going to get back to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not how it works at all, but I don't care. What's my desk? But I love watching her legitimately trying, because you do see her try and you can see she is a good person. Like I can boldly declare she is a good person, but she's also unfortunately in her life and there's a lot of shirts going against her. It starts to weigh her down, as it would. It makes sense. Like she does the right thing by confessing to her friend, the awful person, that she was the one who ripped the dress, made the t-shirt, sold the t-shirt, and just the friend's response is phenomenal. Mom, that took a lot of courage for you to say that, and I love that. But I hate you.
Get out of my apartment.
Like right now, today. Just her and her friend at the table after that, like, well, I'm still glad we said the right thing. Cool. Oh, I love her friends. They're the worst. But you can see that, like, as I said, you can see that very obvious, like, she's going down. And in the season 2 finale, we just see that, and then she runs into Michael at a bar on her birthday, and they have absolutely phenomenal, one of the best written conversations in TV history. Conversations.
So good.
How awesome!
And it's
so
steeped
good.
in the Cheers history.
I was gonna say, how awesome
Puts that
was it to
towel
see
on
him?
his shoulder.
Yep, back in the Cheers.
Is the costume as well? Like, I'd never really watched Cheers, but I'm guessing his costume is also a reference to that. Like
It's similar,
sort of the plaidish shirt and like tan
just when he
trousers
turned
or
around,
something.
I had a flash of the Cheers finale. Like, we're closed. I'm like, no, you're not.
I love that conversation is so phenomenal. And like, without seeing the behind the scenes and just her running into Michael and this the hit of like, the real question is, what do we owe each other? And it's like, oh, he's planting a seed. And then she goes and finds that seed. And it's just like that moment of, oh, I'm not sure if this show's ever going to fully double down on the soulmate aspect, but there is definitely something there between Eleanor and Chidi, because as soon as he starts teaching, she listens.
Yeah.
And she watches the full...
And they even specify between him and Janet about how, like, look, out of all these simulations, it isn't always Chidi and Eleanor hooking up, but they can still be the catalyst for them growing and becoming better people.
Yeah, they're not always in love, but they are always together, like always.
And it's that thing as well, like she looks at the video and it's like
Like
just
3 hours
something about
long.
it's a 3 hour, oh god, and she starts watching it, but then she's immediately hooked.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's you've got that really well edited sequence where it's like, she's changing position, like she's clearly just been hooked watching
Mhm.
these multiple videos for the 3 hour long lecture, and it's just it's so good because it's like it is that kind of thing of like the soulmate aspect, and but also just like the things that he's saying, and like the seed that was planted, and then like as she's learning and growing more, like you can kind of see that this is then it's like you sort of like, this is where this is going now. I know what's gonna happen. Like and she goes to Australia, which I'm sorry, how much does it cost to fly to Australia from America? Because it's very, very fucking
He's got that
expensive.
dress bitch money.
It's got to be a lot of Edens. There's something very relatable about seeing a 3 hour YouTube video and noping right out of it.
Oh yeah.
Like you send me a video that's more than 30 minutes. That's like a ethical quandary on my end. It's like, do I respect the person who sent me this, or do I respect my time more?
I see what you did there, Cheaty. Because you said it was ethical.
Yeah, that was my first mistake.
I think with me, it's like I see a YouTube video that's like 20 minutes long or something like that, and I just start skipping through it and I'm going, is any of this actually going to interest me at all?
Timestamp me what you want me to see. Don't just give me the extended edition.
I usually just watch the whole thing, but I don't watch that many, so even it.
I mean, sorry, Brock, I'm not watching your season 2 of the Halo series video summary about why it's wrong.
We've already gotten the special like sneak peek as he watched every episode and complained to us about how wrong it was.
We don't need to watch the video. We've seen it. We've seen the
lived
text. We've seen the transcript.
Yeah. We lived it real time.
Yeah. we fell for you. Don't worry.
So while all this is going on, I want to touch on something. So we have we have Jason who the shot of Jason in the safe, just throwing it out there, horrifies me.
Yeah.
Like that is like what? Whoa! Like, I'm not the most claustrophobic person in the world, but as soon as like the pill boy, I can't breathe and I'm running out of whippets.
It's like how they shoot that. Like obviously he's not in an actual safe, but they have him in the enclosed space.
Yeah.
The camera's right up in his face, like so close that any closer his nose would probably be touching the lens. And it's just there's something like you're saying, like really claustrophobic about the way that it's shot, because you feel like you're in there with him because of how close the shot is as well. And it's just
I don't like it. Like everything in the show, that's the only thing that made me go like, but then he comes out, he gets saved, and he becomes a better person, gets his 60-person dance crew to stop doing crime. Well, at least there's many that are willing to stick around and not do crime anymore. What is Tahani gets better, but what she starts doing basically
she becomes a monk.
She
goes to be a monk, and then some director follows or finds her there, and then she springboards off of that to create a very self-serving self-help book.
She slides back into her old ways, as they all do. I'm not sure if any of you ever met somebody like the director guy. I've met a lot of those people in Hollywood. They're the worst. Mm-hmm. And that guy nailed it, like just nailed it. Like that is a real person for sure, and he sucks.
What I love about Tahani's is like when Michael saves her, and then the whole crowd's like, Camilla saved you. It's like Camilla. And she's just standing there like, yes, I did. And it's like, oh, I really want the statue to land on you.
Yeah.
You keep on wanting to see her just desserts. And it's never happened. And I don't know if you're ever going to see it happen.
I'm a little disappointed that none of us brought up the line from the last podcast where the parents like, good news, she dedicated her album to you. Really? Well, to her fans, and you are one of her fans. Damn, Mom. It's a sharp dig. trying to figure out where exactly to move. Like it's at this point, it's probably best to talk about when Eleanor gets down there, because then we get our new character, who will be around for a good chunk of the show, Simone.
Mhm.
I
I
love
love
Simone.
her.
Yeah.
Simone is a
She's
very
so good.
good like addition to this show.
She is the yang to Chidi's yang.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like it's tough as a fan who's then, we just had the another thing I didn't talk about from last week, the hot diggity dog after Michael Chidi kisses Eleanor for the first time, like making a decision to do it, and does it. So now we're in. Chidi and Eleanor finally gonna happen. Oh, they're alive again, and here's Simone. Oof. And you're still happy for him. It doesn't
It's a
feel like
likable character.
a likable
But
character.
that's the thing. That's
but
what it is.
also-
It's like that sequence in the MRI room. Like
It's
immediately,
adorable.
immediately,
Mhm.
I'm there like, I love this character because it's
Yeah.
just like the way that I've written the dialogue down. It's just so good. Like where he's like, is this part of the test? Like, yes, it is. Answer the question. It's just like, oh, it's so great. I love this character so much.
I
It's
even
very
just-
weird as a fan to experience it, because we've all lived with Eleanor now this whole time, and the kind of will they won't what they. Eleanor doesn't remember any of that.
Yep.
All Chidi is an acquaintance she saw on YouTube and is trying to learn from it. She's so happy for them, where she's playing matchmaker.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's tough to watch. And then Michael is going through what we are as fans are going through. He's like, no. They're supposed to be together, not the Simone person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to let it
It's
go.
almost like a meta commentary though on like shippers, like
Yeah.
the people who are like, oh, these two have got to get together, and it's like, generally when that happens, it kind of ruins a show.
Yeah.
Looking at UX files, why?
I'm
Like,
not
men
going
and
into
women
that.
can be friends, damn it. They don't have to always bone.
I'm okay with
So-
Mulder and Scully being together, but that's just me.
So Matt doesn't follow the rule of oh shit, what's that rom-com? Old thing with
When Harry Met Sally.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
There we
right.
go.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Good assist.
Yeah.
He has his moments.
Fuck you.
But that sequence of Eleanor confronting Chidi about it is also great, because you start getting that immediate, like, from the moment she sees him again, like in the real life, you get that chemistry right away of like her. Are you Chidi Atagonia and you're teacher of this?
Anna
and
Kendrick.
You're right back into it, and it's amazing. But then we get that moment a little bit later of like Simone kind of asks him on a date, but in that very like casual, like protected, guarded way. Like the only way I would ever ask somebody out. Like if you say no, it's not a big deal because it wasn't actually a date. She tries that and Chidi shoots her down. Like, no, you don't have to do that. Like she offers to make him dinner and she's like, no, that's fine. I'm happy to do this.
Yeah.
And Eleanor's like, what are you doing, man? She's clearly into you. Are you not into her? And he's like, well, I am, but it's scared. It's fine to be scared. Listen, just don't bring this up. Just promise me you won't bring this up. And she's like, sure, I promise. And then it smash cuts to her. So you're into Chidi, right?
And just the MRI ambush.
And then cut to
What
the
color are
MRI
Simone's
scene
eyes?
as well.
Brown.
Like that is just some quality, like rom-com-esque TV writing. Like perfect. I loved it. No notes.
But it's not one of the things as well, like when you see that kind of writing, you can sometimes end up rolling your eyes at it. It's just, oh god, this cliche. It doesn't feel cliche though, because it feels very believable with the characters that we know that they would do that. Like we know enough about Eleanor to know, like, oh, she's seeing that these two clearly have a thing for each other. They're never going to get together because neither of them will ask the other out.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm just going to smush them together, like, and force the issue because she wants to be a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see it happen. One other thing I want to talk about before we start moving to some of the other people. Michael's reaction to going to Earth is some of my favorite stuff
Yep.
ever.
The doorman.
The doorman,
Doorman.
The
everything
doorman
about
is so good. Oh,
this-
the doorman is so
Isn't it
good.
Mike O'Malley? Is that
yeah,
Mike O'Malley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
a
thinking
frog.
like back to the Guts
I'm a
days.
frog guy.
Yeah, I'm a frog guy. I like frogs. It just brings back the thermos with the frog on it. I got you something. Keeps your antimatter warm. It's a frog. Oh, look at him.
He's a
He's a
jumper.
jumper. You can
He's
tell.
a jumper.
Just my Michael,
I love that actor.
that
as
went
well,
over
like,
really well.
He goes from such like deadpan uninterested to this joyous moment.
He doesn't even care that he has the thermos to keep his antimatter warm. It's the frog.
It's the
Oh,
frog.
God.
That was so good. But yeah, him going back and forth, paperwork. Oh yeah, this paperwork from the judge will work just fine. He doesn't care. He has to stamp it.
yeah.
No.
I mean, he questions it a little bit, but he's fine with it.
Yeah.
Questions it a little bit, then he's just like, yeah, I don't care. Just give
Yeah.
it here.
Oh, sorry, look at my notes. The hot diggity dog was actually in the season 2 finale. I thought it was the episode before.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say,
was
yeah,
season
that's on
2
my
finale.
short. That's on
My
my
bad.
list.
Yeah, this is on my list for quotes from this epised. Fantastic.
It's okay. We all make
Eleanor
mistakes.
says it, and then Michael says
And then
it
Michael,
as well,
yeah,
right?
that's what I said. You guys are so good
Two
friends.
peas in a pod.
You
Yeah.
really are. Says a lot about Eleanor.
Yeah, it
She's
really
trying.
does, doesn't it?
She's trying.
So in the dialing it way back again, I'm going to talk about Chidi's journey, because Chidi goes through a hell of a journey, and he actually gets legitimately better, like Eleanor does. Like Tahani and Jason, I think, had the least amount of growth in their good period time. Chidi and Eleanor, huge growth and then huge backslide.
That nurse, what a dick.
Yeah, right.
Didn't we touch on very briefly his near-death experience moment?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh my God, this is a sign. I should get rid of my air conditioning because it's Freon.
Yeah. And his friend is laying into him.
Like, that's what you took away
That's
from
your
it?
takeaway.
I love his friend is just like, Chidi, your brain is broken. And he just like just leaves.
And which is
But
a
when
fair
he
response.
goes to the MRI,
Yeah.
he goes, "Yeah, my brain's broken." She goes, "You came to me with that lead in, and I'm just supposed to take you to an MRI." Yeah, all right, you're weird. Let's go.
I love her. Simone's response, "You're so weird." She's just so into it.
My
I
brain
love
is
that.
broken.
And then I love seeing like their connection forming, like the whole like, oh, I do, philosophical stuff. You're doing science stuff. This together, like, oh, I have actual answers here, and I can think about them over here. And the two of them just start vibing like crazy. And he starts doing way better. He throws away his crazy long manuscript. He writes a book that people can actually use. He does a YouTube series about it. He's actually like his best self. He's choosing muffins in under a minute. Like, he's doing great. And then that nurse comes along.
Bitch.
Well, it's not just the nurse coming along.
Yeah, he also-
It's his advice to his friend. What was his friend's name again?
I don't know. I just think of the guy with the boots.
Yeah. And then he's like, he goes to the gym once and ends up in like
You know how your legs are
in
supposed to bend?
traction.
His
You know how your
delivery
legs are
is
supposed to
so
bend one way?
good.
Mine bent the other way.
All of his delivery, you know the way your legs are supposed to bend one way?
Mine went the other.
bent the other way.
All the tendons in my legs snapped like violin strings, and then I and I kicked myself in the face, which gave me a concussion. On the bright side, I lost control of my bladder. I got it on video, and now Lead Press Wizard has 62,000 views on YouTube. I'm famous.
Joel gets the gold star.
Can you tell that was on my short list for quotes?
Yes, it was.
It's a good one.
I mean, it is on
Very
my
good.
list as well. Like my 2 A4 page list of quotes.
I mean, kudos to someone other than the main like 5 or 6 people we've been doing all of our quotes for sneaking one in. That guy's delivery makes that quote just phenomenal.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then he gives him his basket of blueberry muffins. Like, oh, you can't eat blueberries anymore. And it's like, and Chidi is broken. Like, there he
Yeah.
goes, just ah! So he needs some help.
Because that nurse just pops out and says, "Oh, you shouldn't eat blueberries anymore. I've read an article. The migrant workers who pick them are horribly mistreated," and then leaves. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Thanks,
just say
Dick.
nothing. And then he's just like, you might as well just like stare down the barrel of the camera and go,
You see what he's going through.
He's going through a lot. And then he backslides hard, and he needs a chat. And he gets a visit from Michael. Michael's visit for him, he plays a wily librarian who's seen a lot of those academic types.
Can you
Uh,
a wily Australian academic?
yes. I love his Australian accent. It's a very American doing an Australian accent. And it's
Oh yeah.
But I love his advice. It actually feels like good advice in a way. If you're having
Mm.
problems doing something, help somebody else do something. It might inspire something in you. And it leads to that moment of Chidi of like, will you help me? Yes. It's like, oh, that was oddly like
Easy.
decisive.
Well,
for
that was the
Chidi.
thing as well, like, because go back to the season 2 finale. That's where season 2 finale ends.
Yeah.
So like we get this thing of like she goes in, asks for help, and he says yes, and then that's it, the end. And
Mhm.
you're just like, huh. Like, and you're left like, when you watch this originally, like if you were watching it live, you're left with like that long wait between seasons of like,
Yeah.
that was really decisive for Chidi. Something's going on
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
But then like you get all that background in the lead up, and it's like, oh, it makes so much more sense now. He's literally just had a conversation with someone who said, help, why do you help someone? And that's what's the genius of Michael's plan here, is the fact that he just pops in.
Yep.
Just plants a little seed and then leaves. And
But
it's
he's
just
not
like these
supposed
little
to.
things. Well,
Which
yeah,
is
he's
great
not supposed to.
because it leads up to a greater question of season 3, because he keeps doing these things. When is he going to get caught by
Yeah.
Jen? Because he's not
Yeah.
supposed to be interfering, but he is, because he wants it to work, and these people need to be together for it to work. So I'm all invested in these characters, because you're like, something's going to happen. He's going to get caught.
He's already been caught. Like we
Yeah.
know he's already been caught.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
Sean.
bad
on the
place.
hunt for him.
Sean is
Sean's
on the
on
hunt
him.
for him,
Yeah.
and Sean found him.
And
Guillermo!
Sean loves to cocoon people.
He loves
Yep.
to cocoon people. But the Sean moment of the episode is not cocooning people. It's him saying, play something terrible to inspire us. And you get the wherever you go, whatever you do.
I will.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I
stuff.
That's the stuff.
I chuckled pretty hard.
Easily Sean's best moment in the episode. But I love that he's hunting him down. Like he's not letting him get away with this. And yes, we get from, who, what, when, where, and why in the shadows. We get Guillermo back for a moment before he gets cocooned.
Yeah. Well, this will be before
Yes.
what we do in the shadows. It's
Yeah.
like it must be
I'm
like
just talking
early...
about for fans of Binge Buddies.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yes.
just thinking though, like in terms of like when this came out, I'm trying to figure out what we do in the shadows already started at this point, or probably not though, because yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, Gimmo.
He gets moments, but he has such expressiveness. It's not a surprise to me that he found work after that.
Yeah.
It's just his zip.
He's so good in like that sort of like short role that he has. Like it's quite funny because I've seen him in a few other things. Like he's in the first season of Reacher, and he's very much plays a similar character in that as well.
Okay.
Like this kind of like this exacerbated, very very nervous. Like he's like the medical examiner. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Actually, like we'll just move on because
let's move on to chapter 28.
This is not a Reacher podcast. This is
no, it is not.
Good place
and I
one.
could argue it probably never will be, but I've been swayed before. It could happen. We'll just do the Tom Cruise movies.
Well,
and just
what was the
really
time
pick
you were
on
swayed?
No,
I want to hear
no,
the time you were
no,
swayed,
no,
Brian.
John Wick.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then we might be doing something with some boys who aren't great. That would be me being swayed again, because I do not like the boys who aren't great, but I will give it a shot. I can be swayed. It can happen. God damn it.
Oh, I thought you meant The Boys as in the Amazon series.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
Oh, I
was
would do that in a heartbeat. I freaking love the boys.
Yeah, I was just
Uh,
thinking like that seems
Boys
like
is
it'd be
good.
right up your street.
Yeah, no,
I was thinking-
Is
I
that
mentioned
the
the shit-
one with Mortal Kombat 1 character Homelander?
yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
famously from Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes. It's a different voice actor though. Wasn't the
Oh,
actor who played
Anthony's
it.
so good. Okay,
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Sorry,
so we're
I think I just derailed us then somehow.
us get off topic. No way.
We're like
let's
the
talk-
trolley problem. We've just plowed through all the people.
We
Let's
just need to
talk a-
sacrifice Matt.
Let's talk a little bit about Jason. Jason is Jason's moment with Michael is where I wanted to go. So
The
Jason's
demons.
At the
With
docks.
at the docks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where Michael has a plan. He's got a good plan. He's like, I'm gonna go in as, what is it, Ricky Pizzazz?
Yep.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Some
Yeah.
stupid name like that.
Yeah, and he's gonna, like, I got a new dance crew in Australia and I need you to lead it. But he gets Jason at a somewhat, thoughtful moment where things are not going well. And he's like, oh, I've been that way too. So why don't you tell me about it? And then he does his whole flashback, which is mostly, he got out of the thing. He tried to do things right. He failed a lot. The dance off where he you had 60 people on stage. The max was 8. You're disqualified. What? No, we were the best. We won. We won.
What I love in that scene though is the dude that the announcer person's like, quick announcement, will the owner of a Toyota Tercel with golden pythons painted on both sides, license plate got milk, please see an usher. Your car has exploded. That's the most Florida thing you could come up with.
My favorite is at the end when after he's given up, he goes, "Man, the Reds do crime. Go do crime, crew." And then he keeps talking to Michael, and he goes, "And then I met some guy named Pizzazz."
Telling Michael about him.
I'm Pizzazz.
Yeah, that's me. We're caught up. That's some good stuff. And at the same time, we have the Tahani stuff, which I don't want to miss out on, like her book tour, because her book tour is great. She actually thinks she's helping people. She's doing that thing again where she's yet again convinced herself she's being a good person. And then Michael comes in to just completely blow up her spot. And the way he does it is perfect for Tahani. But before I talk about that, I want to throw out the cover of her book has a review. If anybody
yes, I was gonna do that with my quote, but you can say it because I
oh my god. Well, I'll let you to it.
I haven't.
Go for it.
Okay, so it's Michael what's his Gladwell, who's like this famous commentator on sociological issues, and the reviews on it are, "This book is so brilliant, I've decided to quit writing because I'll never top it." And the next review is Cormac McCarthy.
I love that.
Who wrote No Country for Old Men. And his review was ditto.
Like
two great writers. One about dystopian, or even
I'm gonna say two very different writers as
very
well.
different writers,
Two
yeah.
very different. Cormac McCarthy is very much into moral and ethical problems when it comes to diehard situations, and you got this other guy who examines social situations and commentaries. And they're both like, "We're not writing anymore." It's just so funny. But Cormac McCarthy, just to go ditto.
That is so funny. And like, Cormac McCarthy is one of my favorite authors. Like, I have read so many of his books, and just as soon as I saw that, I'm like, what a weird pull. Like, he's not that much of like a household name, but
and he's such a good writer in the fact, like, his books are very forward, but they make you think a lot.
I mean, I was just thinking then, as like, when this came out, it wasn't like, No Country for Old Men had just come out, like the film. I mean, so like that wasn't like it wasn't the big thing of the moment. This is like quite a while after that. So like the sort of
probably
like
closer to when that movie he wrote came out that was horrible. Like the movie,
that wasn't a good movie.
That was not a good movie.
Like the books.
Yeah, he's good at books. Scripts are not his strong suit. I didn't. Yeah. All right. So anyhow, so Tahani, feeling like a great person, and then Michael comes over. He's like, yeah. What about these suckers, right? We can say whatever we want. They're going to give us money. This is so easy to make money. Isn't this awesome? I'm legitimately helping people. No, we're on the same page. We're both screwing people over. Like, you can clearly tell you're screwing people over. It is such a great moment of just calling her out in the most like aggressively positive way possible.
I love the dig against crystals as well.
Yeah,
so good.
Because
like
ones that treat
met
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. I've met people who are like, oh, healing crystals. It's like, no, like unless you grind them up and snort them, they're not going to do anything.
And even then, I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, I would for those people, to be fair.
Sure. Yeah. Basically, a whole bunch of glass in your lungs. It's gonna go great. But
I'm going to the bad place, aren't I?
Yeah. Yes.
We've established this already.
I don't know
didn't
why you are just figuring this out now.
But I like to be seen helping people.
Here's one thing that doesn't come up in the episode. I'm just looking at my notes, and I just want to throw it out there. Michael I think, is interfering in more ways than we're seeing in the show. Because we had that moment of Chidi talking about an email he got from a professor he didn't know, Charles Brainman.
Yeah. Charles Brainman.
And it's like, we never get any more info on that other than hearing the name Charles Brainman and this random like recommendation he got. It's like, that was Michael. Like that was
Clearly, the name Charles Brainman was Michael.
I'm still waiting for some of the negative consequences of Michael interfering. Because
We
I feel
got
like
it.
there has to be.
the end of the episode. We got it. Here
Yeah.
comes Trevor.
I guess I meant besides that, like some ripple effect in the real world besides Trevor. But
because they're alive now.
well, that and his interference. Like I understand his interference is giving like the positive ripple effect, but it's kind of like that time, concept where if you mess with the past, it could screw with the future kind of thing. I mean, they even mentioned at some point diverging timelines with the security guard for the door.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. They explain time at some point. It's a very
Okay.
weird explanation of time, and poor Chidi does not enjoy the explanation of time. But they do explain it at some point. So this will make a little more sense down the road.
Okay.
I always like the explanation with like time travel. Like when people talk about time travel, it's like time is like a river that's flowing, and like you can only flow with the river. But if you were to somehow get out and go upstream and throw a rock in, it's still not going to change that flow.
Yeah.
So like that idea of like time, you like once it's happened, you can't change it. Like because you can't go back on the river and just throw a rock in and expect the direction to change in the river. I just think that's quite fascinating. Nothing to do with this series at all, but it just came into my head when you were talking about time, and I was like, oh, I'm going to say this, and then it'll probably end up being cut out because it's pointless.
Depends on
It's
how
okay, Matt. Time's
how
a
cutty I
construct.
feel.
It's a human-made invention. It's not real.
So we finally get the group together. Michael's plan has worked. He's gotten them all in Australia. They're going to start working on this new theory that Chidi and Simone are coming up with about near-death experiences. And there's something actually here I like. Like it does feel like
I genuinely think this is a great idea for a study.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like. This doesn't feel like that far off of a study. Like I bet having a near-death experience would make you think about things like this. It's kind of interesting.
I like it.
So they're gonna bring in these 4 people: a dirtbag from Florida, a dirtbag from Arizona,
Trash bag.
sure, trash bag from Arizona, and then we have
Arizona trash bag is how she describes it.
Oh my god! We also have Tahani, some quasi celebrity, and that's it. We only have the 3 because Chidi's conducting the experiments. Then we also get Trevor, who will come join with a fake near-death experience. I love having him back. Trevor's great. I love seeing how he interacts with the group because they don't really know how to deal with him, and it's fantastic because they don't know he's a demon. They just think he's some super annoying dude, and I love it.
I like how meekly he comes in as well. Like when we're first introduced to Trevor, and he's just like, "Yo, dirtbag," and all that sort of stuff. And he comes in and he's like, he seems very kind of meek and like, "Hi," like really kind of like nerdy.
That's gonna be a lot of fun seeing how they play off each other with this new dynamic.
100%.
Yeah,
it's some good stuff. There was a whole forkload to cover in these 2 to 3 episodes. What did I miss that you wanted to talk about?
I think we touched on most of it.
I think we did. I think we did a pretty good job. There's like I said, there's a lot to talk about in this one.
And these are all very
the
story heavy, and it's a little easier sometimes to talk through just like the moment to moment manic stuff happening. But
yeah,
I feel like the broad strokes, we've got it.
Okay. I think like the way we did it in this particular instance of like just combining the season 2 finale and the season 3 opener together and just running through that worked a lot better because we do get about that repetition in the opening.
And it's hard because this is technically 3 episodes, but this is not like the season 2 opener where it was 2 episodes together. This legitimately was 1 episode, but just with 2 chapters. But again, those 2 chapters all were copacetic with the storytelling that was happening. So
you can tell that they learned from the season 2 opener.
Oh yeah,
it's like, oh, what did we do there? What worked? What didn't work? And then they just kind of use it to make this one a little bit better. I love these episodes. I think they're both phenomenal. I think we should do some quotes. Matt went first last week. Let's make Joel go first this week. We never make Joel go first.
All right, fine.
It's not what the people want. Just kidding, Joel.
Fuck the
So,
people.
I had a near-death experience recently. You know that old warehouse that burned down last month and like 4 people died? That building is like right by my old dentist. If I still went to that dentist and I had an appointment that day, I would have been like right near there. I was in Syracuse, New York, like 2 weeks before 9/11. No way. Yeah, 14 days. I can't believe we all almost died.
Amazing line.
That was a weird light sense of stolen valor almost.
Ryan, what do you got?
Like I alluded to in my talk about the finale, it's very simple. It's not funny at all, but I think this is just a testament to the writing that, you know, the power of words, whether they're funny or not, really can lead you into something that's very, very good. And it's just, you know, she wakes up, we're ready to start rolling, and Michael just says, here we go.
It's good.
To me, that's the perfect lead-in, because it's you know, he's ready, he's prepared. It's almost like he's starting another experiment, you know. And we get the action, but I can't remember a season finale where words are so powerful, you know.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon is premiering tonight, you know, and there was an action at the end of season 1, but it's the look that sells what's coming up in season 2. You know, Rhaenyra is pissed off, she's ready to start going. These are words, and you hardly get words that are such a good cliffhanger that make you want to watch more. And that's what that is. It's, you know, Michael has settled down, he looks at his thing, and he goes, okay, and he takes a beat and he goes, here we go. Like that's just, to me, that's very powerful, and it's good writing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. My line is also great writing, but nowhere near as powerful, but it's forking hilarious. I'm just going to read it, and you will all know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, you look happy. Did you get laid last night? I didn't. Tried hard. This chick I followed into a yoga class, but she wasn't into it. Maced me right in the eyes. Stung like hell. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hey.
Oh,
That guy's so crazy and so
he's
hilarious. at the same
disgusting,
time.
and I'm happy every time he shows up.
He's just so honest. All right, Matt, you get to double up.
Anyway, I took a deep breath, told him I ate a Cheeto, and walked away. Man, you have made so much progress. I'm proud of you, hot stuff. Whatever progress I have made is because of you, because you and I have become mates. That's British for friends. No, I know.
You would choose that.
Well, just like the reason I chose that is because that's the first time that Tahani has actually used the term mates, because it's a very colloquial thing, and it's like it kind of shows like the growth of her character a little bit in that sort of use of a more colloquial term as well. But yeah, I liked that.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And now I need to go through my 2 A4 pages to find the best one.
Yeah, it's tough to find the best one, so I'm just gonna go with another one that I liked. And this is from obviously the series season 3 premiere. Oh wait, I just scrolled away from it. Where the fork did it go? Why do I always do this to myself? This is so frustrating. Where?
Oh, I've got one. I've got it.
Well, you've already had one. You've had your 2 lines. You can wait till the rest of them with the rest of
Oh,
us.
I haven't.
No, he's only done one.
Yeah.
And,
I only did my season 2
he
finale
doesn't,
one.
He doesn't deserve any sympathy. Like, he put us on like 10 seconds of dead air.
I assumed you'd done 2. I mean, your line's always so forking long. Go ahead, do your
No.
next one.
What color are Simone's eyes? Brown. What? If you could take Simone anywhere on a date, where would you take her? Sorry, is this part of the experiment? It is now, yes. Please answer the question and keep in mind we can see your brain. Next question. You're into Simone. That's not a question, so you agree it's a fact. Next question's for Simone. Simone, are you annoyed at Chidi for waiting so long to ask you out? Yes, I am. Chidi, same question for you. Are you annoyed at yourself for waiting so long to ask out Simone? I mean, I'm annoyed with you, and I've only known you for 3 weeks. Yes, I am obviously very annoyed with myself. Can I get out now? No, you can't. It'll ruin the science.
Simone
It'll
is
ruin
just
the
so
science.
good. Like,
might be my favorite line in that whole episode, though. It'll ruin the science. Coming out of Eleanor's mouth, it's just so good.
I just, yeah, okay. I dig Simone and that entire sequence. I could have read
so
the whole
good.
thing.
Like
yeah,
Like, is this part of the experiment? It is now, yes. Please answer the question, and keep in mind we can see your brain. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so good.
So my quote will be also inspired by Simone, but it's definitely a Jason and Eleanor interchange. It's at the end of the episode when they're being told about the MRI machine they're going to be in, and Simone is like, "Each of you will eventually get a chance in here. Hopefully, none of you are claustrophobic." And Jason hits him with claustrophobic. Who'd ever be scared of Santa Claus? Oh, the Jewish. And Eleanor Eleanor hits him with, "Hey, are you from Florida? Jacksonville." Yeah, there it is.
That's good.
All
That's
right.
really good.
So mine is, and I was typing it up and I thought I had in my notes up just to make sure I had the quote correctly. So Chidi and Eleanor are meeting and he goes, "I grew up in Senegal, so my native language is French, but I went to American school, so I also speak English and German and Greek and Latin, just in case it ever comes back." Cool. I once got 12 out of 12 on a BuzzFeed quiz called "Do You Know All the Slang the Kardashians Invented?" And then later on, they're still talking, and he goes, "You flew all the way here from Arizona just to see me?" And Eleanor gets real feisty. She goes, "Don't flatter yourself, pal. Sorry, that was a knee-jerk reaction. Yes, that's exactly what I did. And I know that seems zonkotronic." That's Chloe's word for crazy.
Does anybody know if that's real?
I don't. I always
I
sit and
don't
look it
know.
up,
I
and then
don't want to know, to be honest. I'd much rather have that blissful ignorance.
But didn't
I mean, I'm not
line.
doing the research.
the best part though is she cheated. Like Eleanor reveals,
Yeah.
she cheated on the quiz.
That revelation that she cheated on it as
Yep.
well.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Just looked it up.
Okay.
That's true.
Uh,
And there is
okay.
a BuzzFeed article about all the slangs from the Kardashians. That's
Oh
the
my
first thing comes
God.
All
up.
right.
Man,
we
you're-
have reached the end of humanity.
Hold on. While
Your-
Joel
your
does his quote,
Google-
I'm gonna look up some more Kardashian slang.
your Google algorithm is going to be so messed up.
Man, it already is.
So I gotta make mention, not my quote, but I love how they reference Tay Day, chocolate book. Incredible. Like
Yep.
I haven't thought about chocolate rain in forever. My quote is from Michael. "Oh wow, I was just on Earth. It was incredible. The traffic, the pigeons, and I saw this place that was at once a Pizza Hut and a Taco Bell. I mean, the mind reels, a Pizza Hut and a Taco Bell."
He's just so happy.
It's much better actually watching it than the way I said it for those who are listening.
It's good. The delivery on this show is everything. Like even right before, it wasn't his first trip in, there was a joke and he goes,
So how long does this trip take? Hope I don't get a middle seat.
"Wow, I haven't heard a joke in 8,000 years." And
I still haven't.
It's harsh, man. It's harsh.
I like the doorman when he brings in the cup of antimatter. He's like, "Oh, I usually only drink decaf. I'll take it. It's only 4:30 and my shift doesn't end till billion."
I had other ones, but I'm taking the Kardashian
He's
slang
taking the
term quiz.
Kardashian
So we need to know what your score is and then what some of the slang is.
Oh,
You can
my!
see too.
I've gotten every one of them wrong so far. I'm real bad. Although this was inspired by this episode from The Good Place. It's like all about Eleanor Shellstrup's quiz about the Kardashian slang. So she's all over this thing. So at least there's that. But so far I got which one? I got wavy wrong. I got I swear wrong. You're supposed to say I swear. It either means what word do you say instead of saying I swear? You're supposed to say Bible. I didn't know they just said Bible. That's weird.
That's just weird.
I don't know what a handbag hoe is. Turns out it's not a gold digger. That's what I thought it was. Or no, it is a gold digger. I thought it was a fashion person. I don't know. These are terrible words. Slore. That one I figured out. That one I got. It said it's a combination of what two words, and it's slut and whore.
The same thing.
Great
Makes
stuff.
sense.
Great stuff.
I'm sorry that we were exposed to this.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I feel a little better. Everybody got their quotes in, right? I totally wasn't listening to the second
Yeah.
round of quotes as I was
Yeah, I
taking the
think
quiz
so.
over here and
I
failing.
mean, I found another one. I put a coin in a thing and got a gumball, and then someone came up to me and said,
Mhm.
"Hard enough for you?" And you know what I said? I said, "Tell me about it." Well, I'm glad you got to chew a gumball. Oh, damn! I didn't think to chew it. Missed
Yep.
that.
My favorite, and the other one is, do we have to leave right now? My friend gave me a pill that I realized 1 second ago is definitely a laxative. Yeah, go.
Oh man, that's good. I also like, let's not lose the fact of Glenn got another good line in there, and I've liked Glenn this whole show of when Sean is complaining about like it looks like Michael's been caught with his hand in the human jar. Glenn's little cocoon. Good one, boss. Shut up, Glenn. Good stuff. Let's do a quick round of plugs and we can say goodbye though, because I think we've done it. So this show, every other show, HH Network, hhpod.com, except for YouTube stuff, which also has After the Hype. That's it.
I love YouTube stuff. Afterthoughts Book Club, Super GG Radio Video Games. I'm tired.
And I'm Ryan. You can find me on Front Row Network, where I do movie reviews.
Oh, now he's not even mentioning the show anymore. Like it's just gotten totally
I had to add on to last week's.
Matt, anything to
Sense on
plug?
Fiction coming soon.
There we go. All right. Bye, everybody. Tune in next week when we start talking about the Brainy Bunch, which was almost the name of this podcast. I was very, very close to naming it the Brainy Bunch off of next week's episode.
I like Fork the Forking Fork.
I think you made the right trunk. That would have implied that we have intelligence, and I don't know that I can live up to that standard.
Yeah, and it's just a reference from an episode all the way into season 3. It didn't feel like the right call. We made the right call. Fork the Forking Forkers.
It's like the Mindy St. Clair one. It's like, Mindy St. Clair's not a huge part of the story. So
yeah, not really in season 3 at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
walk off. I forgot to do that last week. Then again, I don't think we actually said goodbye last week.
I did.